Welcome everyone to our podcast, Redefine Strength. I'm Mark.
And I'm Leanne.
And thank you for joining us for another chat about all things powerlifting, coaching,
and redefining strength one conversation at a time.
Okay, welcome everyone to a long-awaited episode. It's actually been quite a while since we've recorded an episode for our podcast, but this time it's a little bit different because it's a collaboration with the lovely Dr. Hannah Altman.
Hello.
I have to insert that in.
Thank you.
We've managed to rope you in, get you coming down from Brizzy. Yes.
It's better weather, actually.
Oh, thank you. You actually come on a good weekend. It hasn't been good weather. I think maybe you brought the good weather down with
It was
you.
horrible weather when I left Brisbane, so
wait until the afternoon.
Yeah, sure.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. But we're trying to convince you to come down here, and we're possibly going to kidnap you.
Okay.
And not
Possibly,
let you
we've already
go
started.
back.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have no choice. You are staying in Melbourne.
Well, the food is better in Melbourne. It'll help me fill out the 76s, so.
Very nice. So before we continue, I thought we'd just obviously do a brief, but not so brief, because I can't actually make an introduction of you brief because there is so much to talk about when it comes to what you have achieved, who you are. And in the end, I kind of went to ChatGPT.
I think we all do in the end. It summarizes everything.
And so I thought, for the lols of it, what would ChatGPT spurt out when I
I'm
say,
scared.
tell me about Dr. Hannah
Does
Altman?
it say sleep deprived and annoying?
Okay, I'll read it out to you.
Okay.
So, Dr. Hannah Altman is an Australian-based academic, exercise scientist, and powerlifting coach with a strong background in behavioral and health economics. She has over a decade of experience in the health and fitness industry, blending her practical knowledge with academic research. Her work focuses on the economics of the health and fitness industry, specifically exploring consumer decision-making and the role of social media imagery in the fitness market. Dr. Altman holds a PhD with the Queensland University of Technology, so QUT, where her thesis examined the intersection of economics and the health and fitness industry. She is a recognised expert in strength training and rehabilitation, with a specialisation in helping older adults and individuals with chronic pain. As a nationally ranked athlete in both kayaking and powerlifting, she brings a unique evidence-based perspective to her coaching and research.
I think all my donations to Wikipedia have served me well when asked.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
It's very kind of ChatGPT.
Yeah, but I mean, it did miss out quite a few really important pieces of information.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually then curated my own list of what I know of Hannah. As in, what do I know about Hannah?
Okay.
Besides the fact, and this is going beyond the fact that obviously I know you to be a really wonderful human being.
Thank you.
And I think that's part of the reason why, we've known each other sort of offhandedly for a few years through the powerlifting world, but really got to know each other more so this year.
Yeah.
When we sort of started talking more and then went, let's collaborate because you are awesome.
And we share a lot of the same thoughts. You guys are also awesome.
Oh, thank you. I actually have you on my phone. I don't know if you know this. Your name on my phone whenever you ring me is called Hannah Awesome.
Okay. Well, it's good to know it's not Hannah Annoying.
No, it's Hannah Awesome. So whenever
very
you
sweet.
call me, it says Hannah Awesome is calling you. But besides all of that, the other pieces of information, I mean, you've been competing in powerlifting since 2018, which is exactly the same as me. We both started competing the same year.
Awesome. I got tricked into it.
You got tricked. How did you get tricked into it?
Well, pretty much. Somebody said to me, you can't squat to death. I'm like, well, what happens if I want to compete? And they're like, well, you're never going to compete. So I'm just like, okay. So I went home, Googled how to compete in powerlifting.
Oh, you Googled how to compete in powerlifting?
Well, there was no ChatGPT back then.
I know. Found a competition,
Yep.
entered, showed up, I'm like, here's my comp. They went, what? You don't even know how to deadlift. I'm like, we have 5 weeks.
Wow. So you had 5 weeks
Yes.
to learn not just squatting, but benching?
I could bench, but I didn't have very good technique.
Well, because you are an amazing bench presser. Yeah. And I would say actually, so squats and bench, I idolize.
Thank you.
You know,
I idolize your deadlift.
that's the only good thing. No?
And your bench and your squat.
And even then, it's like a hit and miss sometimes.
I think we're all a hit and miss sometimes.
But like your best bench press in comp is 115 kilos. Incredible. But in training though, you have hit 120.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. And your
Easily.
squat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even though 180 is your best on the platform, but you've been hitting 200 in training, which is why I'm so excited because you're going to SBD Cup as a major contender. And people are going to be afraid. I'm excited.
I'm really excited, especially to have Mark handling me. It's going to be a really good comp.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
great. And me, excuse me.
Sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
being
Mark
your
and
corner too. It's going to
both
be
of you handling.
so much
What do you
fun.
mean? You guys are talking. I'm just over here.
You'll do what the plan says.
Yeah.
No, it'll be really good.
No, you'll do what the plan says.
That's true.
Yeah, you better do what the plan says.
No, I'm excited. It'll be a really good comp, especially now I'm not cutting into it. So
Yeah,
it'll make it
yeah.
a lot more fun.
It'll be a little bit more cruisier. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But then you've also competed at Commonwealths. So
I
you did
did.
that last year.
Yes, trying to wipe the experience out of my mind. But that's okay.
But it's really cool, and
Yeah.
especially because, you know, when you get to compete internationally
Yeah.
and represent your country, it is pretty like, it's a novel experience.
I think it's really neat. What I found was just the support from other countries.
Yeah.
And then there's also that moment you have, like sitting in the lobby of the hotel where you, like, I know for me, it was seeing Kimberly Uelo
Yep.
walking down like the corridor and be like, oh my God. She's
It's
my
her.
idol. That's a goat. It's like, oh my God.
I think that's going to be, you know, those moments where
Yeah.
you have little starstruck moments.
Yeah. Or,
But
yeah. there's so
everyone's
many
like,
people.
sorry, who's not in the powerlifting world? But if you're in the powerlifting world, it's like, wow.
Yeah. Like my dad went with me. I'm like, oh my God. You know who that is? And he's like,
No.
woman. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, it's an amazing experience.
Yeah, and I can't wait because I'm going to get my first one.
And I can't
end
wait
of
to be
this.
there.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be there with. This is so exciting.
Handling you.
With a role reversal.
Exactly.
Actually, yeah, we're tag teaming it, aren't we?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, I
Really
actually didn't
good.
think about that.
It's really good.
I
There you
know. And then, so I'm going to keep going because that's just you as a powerlifter. I've got you down like, okay, so Hannah as a coach, these are my notes here, just for those. I've gone, you're a face-to-face and online strength and powerlifting coach. You have your own brand, which
do.
is Infinite Strength and Rehabilitation. So it's iStar. And so that's who we've been collaborating now for how long now? A couple of months now?
I
It's
think
been a
so,
while.
like after nationals.
Yeah,
Yeah, nearly-
it's been
nearly 6
amazing.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
MD
really good.
Strength and iStar collabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also work out of Zero
Yes.
in Brizzy and the Evolved
Yes.
all-female gym. You not only focus on strength and powerlifting, but you also focus on rehab
Yes.
for chronic pain. So you actually do have an app for powerlifting rehab.
Yeah, so it's kind of aiming to be more complementary. So I know sometimes when people see rehab and powerlifting, they see it as almost something to take clients away. And
Yeah.
the approach is more
Yeah.
something to complement coaches, just help get their lifters back on the platform without
Yeah.
taking them away from them.
Yeah, it's like working alongside.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's really awesome. And then you're a national level referee for APA, Australian Powerlifting
Yes.
Alliance, and for para powerlifting. And you're
Yes.
getting your cat too.
Yes, I'm very
in New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm
when we
very
go there
excited. I'm
together.
very nervous for the exam, but very excited.
You're going to kill it. So you're going to ace it.
I've heard very scary things with the exam. I was speaking to a couple cat reps. They're like, it's hard, study hard. I'm like,
Okay. Well, hey, that's actually really good advice. At least then you go in
Exactly.
prepared. You don't think,
Exactly.
oh, I can just cruise through this.
exactly, no, it'll be good. No,
Yeah.
it'll be really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then obviously Hannah as an academic, because when I did introduce you, I did say Dr. Hannah Altman. So not a medical doctor, but a PhD doctor.
Yes, I suffered for 12 years.
So a doctor of, a highly intelligent doctor. So exercise scientist, and you did your PhD in 2024.
Yeah, I finished it in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. And now you're a lecturer, not just at QUT, but at La Trobe
Yes.
in Melbourne.
Yes, I
which
started
is
a few
why
weeks
when I
ago.
said we're going to kidnap you and keep you down here, I technically wasn't lying.
Yes, I'm actually loving it at La Trobe. It's a very good uni.
Yeah. So it was so exciting to hear when you said, I think I've got a job at La Trobe in Melbourne. I went, what? When are you coming down?
The worst thing was when they offered it to me. I was just really ignorant. I didn't realize the Tropa was in Melbourne.
Oh, really? So wait, you applied for it not knowing that it was in Melbourne?
Yeah, not knowing where it was.
It is academia, because you don't always know where you're applying to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I was offered something last year in a small little town, and I went there.
Yeah.
It was in the States.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was like 3.5 hours from nowhere. I'm like, get me out of here. There was like 4 stores in the whole city.
Oh my goodness.
And the gym was open from 10 to 2.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, I can't do this.
Wow. How long did you last? How long were you there for?
5 days.
Oh my goodness. Longest ever job. 5 days. Far out.
I tried.
You tried. So like you have so many hats, and I love that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can really resonate with
You
that.
guys also have a lot of hats.
Yes. A lot of hats in different fields as well, which I think
Yeah.
that's sort of why, like, when
Yeah.
we started talking, it's sort of like we really resonated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just about powerlifting, I
Yeah.
suppose. There was, obviously swimming background,
Yeah.
kayaking, different sports we've played.
Yeah, because you guys were also swimmers. Like, that was my
Yeah.
background originally.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So like coming from like
Yeah,
a
if you've got a
sporting
swimming
background,
background,
yeah,
yeah.
swimming, kayaking, it's just
Yeah.
the water-based sports. What is
Yeah.
it with water-based sports?
I don't know, I always thought because I was really shy, like I was painfully shy. Everybody has always said, if you wanted confidence, you said add water. And I always just found like water, this makes you more confident.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you are.
that's true.
That's what I always found. Maybe
Yeah.
I know I am weird, but maybe I'm weirder than I thought.
You're not weird. I think everyone has an element of weirdness in them.
That's true.
And that's what makes you really cool and unique.
Yeah. Particularly all of us powerlifters.
Oh, yes.
We're all very unique.
Definitely unique.
I feel like powerlifters, a majority of us have like the element of like nerdiness. I think in order to like get right into powerlifting,
think you need to,
to find that nerdy aspect of yourself that really values like number crunching and
One of my rehab clients said to me the other day, he's like, I don't feel like a nerd anymore. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm in a room full of people that spend their lives staring at a deadlift bar. Like, now I feel like I'm really cool. I'm like, okay. Stop talking.
I'm glad we helped.
Yes. I'm glad we helped your self-esteem.
Yeah, but at least we're all strong.
Exactly. We can outlift you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So you said that like your background is in kayaking and swimming.
Yes.
So how did you get into powerlifting? Like what sort of brought you into powerlifting? Besides the fact that, you said you were tricked into it. Sort of like you would have sort of known about it or been in an environment that would have exposed you somehow.
Well, my first taste of powerlifting
I'm just gonna get you to sit closer.
was when I was 18
Yeah.
or 17. It was my first year of uni. And I
Yeah.
was a kayaker and I did a strength test. And somehow an accounting professor found out about it. And he was a powerlifter for, I think, like, Tonga?
Okay, so that makes complete sense to me. See, an accounting professor doing powerlifting right there.
And he was like, okay, you should do powerlifting. I'm like, no. It's scary and the gyms freak me out. He's like,
Can I say that was the exact same thing when Mark said you should do powerlifting as well to me? I was like, no.
exactly, it's because it's intimidating. When he kept on like calling me out in class, because he found out how much I could squat. Because somebody sent him this, he knew my dad. And so my dad showed him this squat video of me when I was doing a testing when I was like, I think I showed it to you like 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have to be a powerlifter. And he kept on calling me out in class. And he's like, I will stop embarrassing you in class if you go with me to a powerlifting gym.
Wow.
I'm
No
like-
pressure.
That was one of the most ridiculous, as in, like you showed me that. That's like phenomenal strength at that age. Like I've never
At
seen.
12?
I've never seen that in my life at all.
Yeah, that was traumatizing.
Yeah, I 100% understand. Yeah,
We should do a post about it and we can put like the video into
We'll just share the trauma with
Oh,
everyone
dear.
because, sharing is caring.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that was like my first intro into powerlifting and I hated it. And I
Yeah.
vowed never to go back.
Yeah.
And then I did a workshop in a powerlifting gym in Auckland, like when I was 21.
Yeah.
And I really hated it. I'm like, never again.
Yeah.
And I just despised powerlifting. And did it with the guy who did my strength conditioning for kayaking.
Okay.
I went with him to Auckland for it. And then I got in a scholarship to do my master's at QUT with a supervisor I really admired, and I wanted to be a kayaker.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, Brisbane has all this fresh water. I didn't realize it didn't. I thought South Bank Beach was an actual beach. It was a rude surprise when I moved. And I was too scared to drive. And I couldn't find a gym. And I messaged my strength coach back in Wellington. I'm like, Jim, and he knows I hated powerlifting. And I was really shy. And so he's like, oh, he sent me a powerlifting gym.
And you went, what?
And I'm like, okay. So I went and joined it. And then the owner looked at me. I did my 20 minutes. strength session, which I had with my high squats. And
Yeah.
my jumping, my plyometric bench press.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? He's like, you have really bad technique. And I did. And I'm like,
That's really confidence building, can I just
Yeah.
say? When someone comes to you, it's your first time really doing it, and then just saying, you've got really bad
yeah.
technique.
And he's like, I'm not giving you a membership. He's like, you're really bad. And that's what he honestly said to me. And I was,
if that's a strategy of getting someone
and
in.
I went home and I was really angry. And I was like,
Yeah, I can
and I
imagine.
was cursing and swearing. And then I realized he was right. And I messaged him. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
so he trained me. And he's like, fine. And then, yeah.
There has to be some sort of reverse psychology going on here.
And for kayaking, to get on the national team, you need to be able to bench 90 kilograms.
What?
So what if you
Oh,
could
is that a
kayak?
benchmark to
If you
get
could
onto the
kayak
national
really
team?
fast, like if you could kayak faster than everyone else in the country,
you need a
and you
hit.
couldn't bench press 90
Yeah.
kilos, they wouldn't let you on a team.
Yeah, so then I was like, okay, can you help me bench 90 kg? And he was like, no, because that's like above, like back then, that was above the national record, and I was a junior as well.
All right.
And he was just like, well, no, because it's not really possible. I'm like, I have to do it. So then we did that first comp, we benched 80 the first comp, and then my second comp, I broke the junior national record, which was, I think I got 95. So I got
Wow.
3 junior national records under PA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back in PA day, and then
Yeah.
after that, I quit kayaking, and I was like, all right.
Sold. I'm sold with
Powerlifting's fun.
powerlifting now.
Yeah, and that was how I got into powerlifting, just by fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually it's funny because like listening to your story, like I really resonate with
Yeah.
that because I was actually quite similar with that.
Yeah.
Whereas I was trying to get better with archery. I was on the archery
Wow.
nationals.
I didn't know that. That's really neat.
Oh yeah. And so I was like competing nationals at
Yeah.
archery. I was like, how can I improve my performance?
Yeah.
Right. And obviously Mark's training was like, well, you just get stronger, especially in your upper body, because to be able to then handle more tonnage through the bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
um,
holding
holding
positions and
it.
everything.
Yeah, you can be more accurate if you can increase the tonnage on the bow.
Yeah.
Then the arrow flies faster. It will fly truer.
It doesn't have as big a.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, right. So I'm gonna start strength training. And he's like, yep, strength training, sure. We're gonna do SBD. And so he literally.
Compound
It wasn't-
are the foundation.
It wasn't just SBD. You were doing.
No, I was
you
doing
did some-
dips
you did some
and
pull-ups,
chin-ups.
and I had you on a
Pull-ups,
sled. Yeah, you were doing some sled work. You were squatting, benching.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
That was a little bit. Actually, it was a progression that we ran for like 18 months, and it was like, I'm serious.
I was actually getting quite good at it.
She was getting, and she was like not stopping, and she was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do a pull up by myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, either could I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the first time he got me under the bar floor bench, it was just 20 kilo barbell. And he went, okay, we're just going to do just 20 kilos. We'll see. And because, like, obviously I've got a background in swimming and, like, archery, you'd assume that I'd have, like, some muscle,
I'm sure you
you,
did.
you did. You just,
I did.
yeah, it
I
was
just didn't know how to use it,
That's the thing,
clearly.
you have to learn how to use it. That's why you need to have a good coach. Like, coaches can
Yeah.
guide you in how to actually
Use
utilize
it properly. Yeah, and I know that now.
Yeah.
But, like, it was so funny the first time. And he was like, okay, 20 kilos. And it just, okay, right, yeah, let's do this. Went down.
So I
and
had
then
a
it
look
just
at her, and it didn't move. and I'm like,
didn't go back up again.
So you do
Okay.
your pause bench.
A very, very long pause bench.
Okay.
That never completed.
yeah,
And then he
still
just went,
still being paused to this day.
Yeah, it's a pause bench without the press.
Yeah, that's it.
And he just grabbed the bar, pulled it up, and was like, okay, we're just going to go to the dumbbells. Okay, cool, thank you.
I guess that's when we use the bar that we shouldn't call it, but I always call it the girl bar. The lighter bar.
15,
Yeah,
yeah,
15.
yeah.
Oh, I have a 5 kg one.
Oh my goodness. See, we don't even have that at our gym. We're like, nah, we'll just go straight to the 20 kilos now.
I guess I'm a little bit too soft.
Well, it's so funny because like like I'm taking we've got a beginner class that we take at our gym. And it's really lovely because we have just basically introducing people into the world of strength training, not powerlifting specifically, but just
It's like a gateway drug.
it is a gateway
Let me
drug.
see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Shh! Don't tell them though. They're not meant to hear this, guys. You're not meant to hear this. Okay? It's all trickery.
Tricking everyone into powerlifting.
It's not tricking. It's just showing them
The
what's
better
possible.
way.
It's like powerlifting. The beauty of strength training is when you can show people what the body's capable of.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
really empowering.
Pushing yourself is just addictive.
Yeah, yeah,
Powerlifting, or not even powerlifting, just SBD and compound movements.
yes.
And being able to push yourself. I think we talked about this recently. It's just magical for Gen Pop, just to make people more resilient. It reduces risk of falls,
Absolutely.
hip breaks, everything. It just helps you.
As you get older as well, so much, and that's why like a lot of majority of those who are doing the beginner strength program are older. They're in their 60s.
It is funny. It's like really good for the older generation, but even like, let's say, younger generation, they're looking at, I want to look better, and it's like, instead of just focusing on how I'm looking every day, if you just literally take that away, focus on some compound movements, and just get stronger and just chase getting stronger over time, all of a sudden you run into someone you haven't seen for ages, and you're probably achieving your physique goals that you're not going to have achieved if you were just solely going, I want to look better versus...
Exactly.
It's a byproduct, not the main goal. It's a secondary
exactly.
byproduct. Yeah.
And also, I think it helps reduce that body dysmorphia you can get, and the eating disorders you can fall into when you're obsessed with looking better, because then you really start to look at it like what comes in, what goes out.
Yeah.
When you look at, I'm doing my compound movements because I want to get stronger, then I'm doing my steps because it actually helps me with my mobility.
Yep.
So I don't get injured, so I can therefore deadlift. Well, of Mark's program, you 4 times a week.
Only some people.
Not
everyone does.
That's why he has a strong deadlift.
I have one person deadlifting 4 times a week. Come on.
But they've requested it. Actually, they've asked for more.
I know. I have so much.
Well,
technically,
technically they didn't request it to start with, and now they sort of like it. So
Can I do more?
But like when they,
she has asked for more, and I'm like, no, not
when
yet.
she deadlifts 240 at 76 kg, we'll be asking for it. So
Yeah.
If she can hold on to it, but yes.
Yes.
grip strength.
Yeah. We're not saying who it is, but she knows who we're talking about.
Yes,
She'll be like, yes, I know. Hold on to the freaking bar.
Have you tried that trick
Which one?
with the liquid chalk?
Oh yeah, liquid chalk and normal chalk.
Okay,
That's old
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
Okay, that's old school. Okay.
That's old school. But it's so cool though, like I said, like, with the fact that, it's because all three of us, right, when we talk about like strength training, it's like talking to the converted.
Yeah.
Right? We all know why everyone
What's that quote
should
off the
be
Dark
strength
Knight
training.
Rises? It's like, yes, but we are the initiated.
We are the initiated.
when Batman's fighting Bane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you are.
We're the cult leaders.
Yeah,
The cult
there you are.
leaders. Yes. Come to MD Strength and iStar. We are a cult.
Yes, there you are.
A community.
Isn't that how
Wait,
cults start?
could cult stand for that? Community under the... Okay, I'm going to have to come
What
up
would
with
you go?
something like that.
Utilitarian? I don't know.
We should just ask ChatGPT.
No, I don't know.
ChatGPT come up with an acronym
for
cult
cult.
that links to community and
Powerlifting.
powerlifting and getting
I
strong.
think there's a gym actually in New South Wales that has done that.
Well, as in like got the acronym cult.
Acronym cult.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's actually funny.
There you go.
Yeah. So where are you going today? Oh, I'm going to my cult. Just heading to the cult today. My cult.
Well, it's better than I was going to originally call. Instead of MD Strength, it was going to be called Mark Derrick Muscle Academy. Then I realised MDMA is probably not the best acronym.
Yeah, that first name was...
Yeah, there you go. It really wasn't. I just made that up.
That's cringeworthy.
Yeah, I know.
It could also have been a huge success, and everyone would be
Really?
like, "That is really smart, MDMA."
Yeah, I don't think so.
But like with strength training, I was just saying, like with the beginner program that I have, it's really, really lovely to see. It's majority of it about 50 to 60-year-olds who are doing it. And it's funny introducing them to the bench press, right? And all of them, when you show them the barbell initially it is daunting, and I completely understand that because like both of us we've all had a starting point, so we all know what it was like when we first started, but sort of showing them what they can do. And I tell them the story about how when I first bench pressed 20 kilos, I could not do it. Yeah. And so now when they go do it, and it's great watching them do it for the first time.
Yeah.
And every single one without fail bench presses 20 kilos.
Yeah.
And
So they're all going to be stronger than you.
And I went,
Good.
see, I said, you guys are already doing better than me.
You're already ahead. Yeah.
Already ahead.
That's good. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's really lovely. And I think that's the really positive side of like training Gen Pop as well.
It's so rewarding.
Get them. Yeah. You have a lot of, because of your rehab side of things, You do have a lot of, I guess we call them masters lifters,
Yeah.
but, you know, older generation, bringing them into strength training and training them.
And I have a lot of gym pop that would never do powerlifting because it doesn't make sense given their goals.
Yeah,
Because when you go onto the platform, you know, there's always that risk factor. You're pushing yourself. You could hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't align with certain people's careers, like if they're surgeons, etc.
Yes.
And at that point,
Don't tell Cindy that, though.
She's
She's
much younger. She doesn't have 5 kids. Like
Yes.
like that different stages.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure competing is a good idea, and obviously I don't think we've spoken about it. They don't think so either. But you know, they can still push themselves, and especially with those more mature lifters over 50,
Yes.
60, when you bring them into the gym, they're like, I'm not going to do a deadlift. I don't want to get a hernia. And you actually explain to them, you're more likely to get a hernia if
You don't
do it.
strength train and get stronger, and then you end up lifting something in the garage, for example,
Yeah.
because you need to, like, you're trying to clear out something, and
Actually,
then something happens.
I had a discussion with a physio recently who doesn't believe in strength training.
What?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
And they're like, you know, it's evil, deadlifts are bad, blah, 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 blah. And then they messaged me the other day. They're like, I'm off work. I'm like, what happened? They're like, I got a hernia picking up a box in the garage.
Well, if you
I was
actually deadlifted and actually got strong.
That's what I said to them. Actually, I responded, like, sorry, that was way too soon. I was like, come see me after you're rehabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's get strong so that this
Yeah.
doesn't happen again. Yeah.
But it's really interesting, I think, because when people see how strong they can become and how it actually helps them with the real world. Like, I have a lady right now in her late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Right now she's training to lift her suitcase into the overhead bin because she doesn't like getting help from younger people. She likes being independent. And
That's great.
She still works. She travels a lot for work.
Yep.
So she has her suitcase.
At 80?
Yeah. She
Wow.
has her suitcase in her home gym.
Yep.
And she does sit to press with her suitcase.
Wow.
So she sits on a bench. She
Yeah.
stands up. She presses her suitcase up and down like she's trying to put it.
And this is what I call, that is what you call functional training.
Exactly.
You know how everyone goes, you know, functional training this, functional training this. Well,
that's
this is
functional
actually
training.
the epitome of functional training.
But I love how that's compound movements, and it just gives you
Yes.
it gives you independence and power.
Yeah. Yeah, right there. It was also funny because one of my clients as well, so she's in her late 60s.
Oh, yeah.
And she came and she's like, oh, Leanne, I have to tell you this story. So she plays golf.
Oh, this is funny. Yeah.
She plays golf like twice a week,
Yeah.
but she also plays tennis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And then she
smart.
comes and she
Yeah.
trains with me twice a week too. So she's
Wow.
actually, and she's a gardener. She's
very active,
very active.
she's more active than all three of us.
I think so. Yeah. She's very aspirational. But she was telling me about her golf game the other day. And she usually goes golfing with, you know, all of her friends. And usually when they, you know, tee off and everything like that, they go off, all of their balls are generally in the same area. Or same, you know, so it's very easy to sort of find their balls. Anyway, the week before, she was telling her previous game, they all teed off and they went out and they were trying to find balls and they couldn't find her ball. They're like, where's your ball? Like, you hit it. And they found her ball 20 meters further
That'd be so
than
empowering.
everyone else.
That
and she
was
said,
on average for every
on
hole.
average,
It
yeah.
was
Because we were like, that wasn't just one time. Like, that was every single hole.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. And I went, oh, well, you know, improving your golf game.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what you can do through compound training.
Yeah, that's literally it. Yeah. So she was like, she was shocked and she was really, really eager to share that story.
That's amazing. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
SPD goes so far beyond just platform.
Powerlifting.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
helps with rowing, with everything, golf, tennis, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And also general everyday.
Yeah, I think what you said before as well, like you were talking about gym like not being able, like not being like sometimes appropriate to compete as well. Like in that scenario, like maybe they get even stronger not competing because they're spending so much more time just building and getting stronger.
right.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like a much slower approach that if they were to go, no, I want to compete, maybe they wouldn't have made the progress that they would have. Because how many times, you know, it's like, you know, yourself in a powerlifting prep, it's like, you know, if you can spend time like building the strength, it's like, oh, I got this, you know, everything's going up versus like, you know, just trying to express it all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to hit those numbers.
Yeah. So it is. And there's times for, like, that's in powerlifting, there's times for that as well. There's times where it's like, okay, we got comps in close proximity. We got to, you know,
Yeah, hit it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially, yeah. we've got a few athletes who are doing quite a number of comps this year. I would say a large amount of comps than they would normally have done in the past or have had done in the past.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting to see when you've been in a way, a perpetual comp prep.
Yeah. Because one of my favorite lifters is actually Cindy. She's just absolutely incredible.
Oh,
she'll love that.
She is actually a lot of our favourites. Yeah, but don't tell her that. No. We should tell her that because she's prepping for Worlds soon.
She's doing 5 comps this year, isn't she?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
She's got
possibly 6.
SPD Oceanas and then. And where was the 6th one? Oh no, bench nationals as well. Yeah, she'll come down for that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. No. 6.
And then she was talking about another one that she's like, I can do this as well.
And she said she said last night actually, she said, if Mark had let me, I would also be doing
C1.
the C1 comp. And Mark's like, already as it is.
Good for you, Mark.
It's literally like, so I said to her, I said, yeah, it would have been good prep. Yeah, it's like it's a week out from Worlds. It's your, last heavy on the platform, comp specificity, We'll do our back downs in the warm-up area, cap you at singles. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm joking. But Hannah's sitting there going...
But she's gone.
What the...
She's like, yeah,
Cindy's
absolutely.
100% for it. She's just like, exactly.
She's she's higher up in my books now.
It probably... I shouldn't
It
say
might
it.
have actually worked.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say that because she's like, well, why didn't we do it?
It's better not to test the theory.
Yeah. That's yeah.
We'll test it next year when you do 9 comps.
Oh my goodness.
Mark's like, don't even joke.
No, don't. Because if you joke, it will literally be like...
She's like, yeah, why not?
They'll be like, yeah, let's do it.
What's the Guinness World Record for the most comps ever done?
Is
there a Guinness Book of Records for the most comps ever done?
No.
I suppose we can look it up on Open Powerlifting. And
Wasn't there a
Or
girl...
ChatGPT.
I can't remember her name.
go through, yeah.
Is it Chloe Casely, her name? Or I could be just pulling someone else's name out. I'm so sorry if I have said someone else's name that's incorrect. But didn't she have there was a challenge of doing a different comp every
Actually, I think Lily Riley's probably done 12 or 13 this year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
She
incredible.
does a lot.
Wow.
The other one thing that came to mind was it the crazy running man? He did a couple of challenges. It was like a marathon every day for, I forget how many.
A marathon every day.
And he went 100. He tried to go 100 Ks.
Do we really love Lineard? Have we talked to Lineard before?
I don't believe we have.
He's a Kiwi running coach.
Yeah.
Linear programming.
Yeah.
You would love him.
Hang on, linear.
It was his name.
His name's linear programming.
No, sorry.
I was going to say that's
Lineard.
Lineard.
Yes.
Okay, Lineard.
Yes. He is incredible. He does sprints.
Yeah.
He makes the sprint athletes run 100K
Yeah.
twice a week. And then do sprints.
Why?
Because you need endurance to actually be able to finish your sprints because it's for 400 meters as well.
That was like the old Charlie Francis mob, but not to that extent. He used to do tempo runs that were, a lot, not 100 Ks, but yeah.
Yeah, I was coached by this guy, Ian Ferguson, in kayaking, who was mentored by him.
Yeah.
And he used the same approach. So he would make me do 30K paddles for my 200 meter sprints.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
So was the theory
Wow.
behind that the ability for the ATP CP system
so you
to
can also
regenerate?
and also so you can learn how to control it. So you can control from when you go down to up, down and up.
See, it was a very big swimming thing back in the day as well, because I remember, I was a sprinter and we'd go 60 to 80K weeks.
Yeah, and his son was an Olympic swimmer as well.
Yeah.
And they used to use it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't
There
love
you
it.
go.
I didn't love it.
Didn't love it at the time, but
I actually enjoyed 40K.
you love it if you get to the comp and you're like, oh, I'm so much faster now.
Actually, I love the 40K paddles. They're really relaxing.
Jeez, there you go.
Actually, you know what I really liked for swimming? I think one time we got given a 1K pool.
1K pool.
Yeah. I remember doing it, and
Pool's fun, yeah.
Yeah, no. So I was literally just 1K in a 50-meter pool. Luckily, it wasn't a 25-meter pool, but just as in freestyle pool with a pool boy, for those who don't know. And then literally just for 1K. And I remember just this is cruise. I could just tune out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold your legs up. It's lovely.
literally and just Go for it.
Like I was a 200 meter.
Just get into a rhythm.
I was a 200 meter butterfly specialist. So I think I just kind of.
That's where you bench press.
I can see you as a butterfly.
Yeah, I can literally see you as 200.
Yes.
Like,
oh my
stubbornness,
goodness.
like 200
Yeah.
flyer. It's like you'd have, you
200
would.
butterfly, 400 I am, 1500 free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah.
Like everything that sucked.
Yeah.
It's a backstroke.
Everything. Yeah. No, backstrokes. Backstroke was a recovery stroke.
I hate
seriously.
backstroke.
It's recovery.
I got a concussion doing backstroke.
See, I was a backstroker.
I shouldn't have.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone
Why?
has. You just sort of zone out. You don't even see the flags, and you're just like, oh shit.
There was a competition. It was actually, I remember I was in Edmonton, Alberta, and I remember I was going into the flags to do a flip turn.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I mistimed it. I just went straight in.
Back to
bang.
breast in an IM.
Sorry?
Back to breast in an IM.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just, out, had to get rescued.
I shouldn't laugh.
Oh, I laugh at it all the time. And after that, I'm like, I'm never doing IM again. And even now, like,
You just let it finish and just be like, shh,
when I
slide
go
it
to
for
do
ages.
backstroke, I'm
and
like,
then-
I can't do this.
No, but I think everyone has to go through that for backstroke, and that's when you learn. Okay, make sure as soon as you see the flag, count how many strokes.
And if you miss time, just hold one arm up and glide into the wall for.
But then you lose
Yeah,
speed.
yeah,
I
no,
know,
well, that's
100%.
it. That's
No,
it.
no, the flip turn's the best, but yeah, it's
Oh. It can be a real knockout.
What was your event for swimming?
50 free, 100 free. I also raced some. I was 200s.
You were
as
a
well.
sprinter, but like yeah.
But I did other things. Like I mean, I raced. I think the most. I never did a 1500, but I did like 800.
You weren't a
There's so much
breaststroker
fun.
though.
Pardon?
You were not a breaststroker.
I won a state medal at breaststroke, ranked like 20th going into it. There you go. There's some, and then I
Okay.
got into the final lane 0 and got bronze.
Wow.
I had a really strong pull, a terrible kick. And it was long course, so it wasn't. I was probably better short course if I was going to do breaststroke because you could
You cheat
get the
push it
dive
off.
and then
Yeah.
get a lot
Yeah.
of speed off the wall. But
Yeah, because Mark used to race against my brother, and he
Yeah.
was better at breaststroke than you.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I always remember you shit at breaststroke because of that.
I was good at breaststroke. If you got rid of the kick, it was good.
I was like, oh yeah, Mark Derrick, yeah, not good at breaststroke.
Jeez, terrible.
Well, breaststroke wasn't really a real stroke, was it?
It's like a survival stroke.
It's like relaxing, it's not hard.
I mean, I'd say butterfly's not a real stroke. Oh, I know. Here we go.
Like,
So if you like fall off a boat and you're like 4K out from the,
You're gonna do
you can swim a bit of
butterfly?
freestyle, a bit of backstroke, lie on your back, bit of breaststroke.
But, like,
I
who-
don't think you'd go butterfly.
who watches breaststroke and goes like, I want to do that. Butterfly people go, that's amazing.
Some of the breaststrokes though I've seen, some
Actually,
of them
they're-
are a bit ridiculous.
They're insane now, and the technique.
And the height they get out of the water, like their entire front torso out, just to like clear the water.
Yeah. I used to like the old school, like before the 15-meter rope came in, and you'd see like there's some Russian swimmers. One of my favorite, or I've got two favorite Russian swimmers.
Their split stroke under the water.
What's the guy's name? Denis Pankratov.
Oh, yeah.
Spent about 40 meters under the water for 100 fly, and then he'd turn and then spend another 30 meters under the water, take a couple of strokes, and win.
My coach had the worst drill when I used to swim. He used to make us try to swim like as many lengths as we can without breathing.
Yep. No, we had the same. Yep.
And you would like
Hypoxic work.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I think we all
Come-
did that.
You're gonna pass out.
How many times did
Actually,
someone
no,
end up on the
we
bottom
did.
of the pool?
Literally, like, yeah, on you.
exactly.
It was
See?
you. I remember, like, I think it was actually no, it was
That's
actually.
so not good.
I remember when we did it as well, and one of the it was Victor. This guy called Victor.
Yeah.
He like literally passed out under the water because of it. Yeah, I remember having to grab him and pull him out.
Yeah, yeah.
I was really competitive when I was.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to
Really,
lose.
I wouldn't have noticed how
I know.
competitive you
wouldn't-
are.
wouldn't
Really?
guess that,
It's like
right?
breath holding competitions, you would have won.
Because I always had to, because I did kayaking as well. So to get my swimming sessions in, I would
Yeah.
have to swim in the mornings.
Yeah.
So I had to swim with the boys squad.
Yes.
So the under 17 boys
Oh,
squad.
I've done that too.
When I was 9.
All boys. Yeah.
When I was 9.
Literally.
And I really didn't want when they beat me.
Yeah.
So I'd always try to hold my breath longer, and I fainted multiple times.
Oh my goodness.
But I beat them, so it's fine.
That was all that mattered.
I held my breath longer. And then
I wonder how many other people who used to swim as a girl have that experience of literally having to swim with all boys. Like I remember going to St. Kevin's, which is an all boys school, and I would train. I would be the only girl.
Yeah.
And I would be placed in lane 4 or lane 5. Like, why put me in the middle lane, surrounded by all these teenage boys? Like, ooh.
builds character. That's probably why we do so well in powerlifting. We're used to being the only person, like the only girl in the room. It doesn't even bother us anymore. It's like, yeah, it's normal.
There you are.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
now I'm outnumbered.
Yeah,
That's true.
Even at that
That's
gym, I'm
it.
outnumbered.
Actually, yeah.
It's like-
It's actually
Yeah.
really funny because the majority of people at our gym are all majority are girls.
That's really progressive. That's
Yes,
awesome.
that's exactly what we were aiming for.
I love that.
I think it was more like an unintentional. I don't know why we've just got more strong girls, but it's amazing and I love it. The fact that we've got strong girls, and you are now an unofficial, part of that now.
Thank you.
Unofficial, officially part of that.
Well, Mark is down to handle me at SPD Cup.
Yes, exactly. And you are also handling me at Oceana's.
Exactly.
So,
There you go.
We're a team.
literally a team.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we've actually made such a huge digression.
Really, have we? Usually you're the one that keeps us on track.
It's just so much fun.
We
Every
talked
time.
about, we talked about swimming. That's why.
We did. We didn't even go through our hard, brutal sets, but anyway.
That's true. I think we could make West powerlifters cry if we did.
Yeah, we can do that next time, yeah. That's why, yeah. I think,
But
yeah.
we've spoken about, like a lot of, I guess, the strength training and how sort of it really benefits, general pop. But obviously we're not just in the industry of just general strength training, but we're also in the industry of powerlifting
Yeah.
and performance. And yeah, we've touched base on how competitive you are. But for both of you, sort of the difference here, and this is sort of the main topic that we really wanted to discuss, is sort of that difference between coaching for health and coaching for performance, and from both of your coaches' perspective, sort of what do you feel is the key difference between the two?
It's like, who goes first?
You can go first, Mark.
Oh, thanks, Hannah. Cheers.
Just throw you under the bus.
Well, it's like, I look at it as like a spectrum. So you've got health on one end and you've got performance on the other end. What is health? You're looking at longevity. You're looking at quality of life. You're looking at being moving around pain-free. And they're all really important things, in terms of being healthy. So, quality of life, longevity. Whereas on the performance end, the goal is do whatever it takes to achieve a desired result in your sport. And if we go to true performance, whatever it takes, I'd include performance enhancing drugs for that as well, even though I'm completely against that.
it.
But if I was to look at the spectrum and go, if you're going to do whatever it takes for performance, you doing whatever it takes, and whatever it takes doesn't necessarily... So what I'm saying is that one end of the spectrum on the performance side isn't necessarily the healthiest endeavor. So people look at, bodybuilders, or they look at really strong powerlifters, natural and unnatural. Pushing their bodies as far as they can isn't always the healthiest endeavor.
Can I chip in on that?
Go for
Yeah.
it.
When it's not the healthiest endeavor, I do believe there's a healthy way of
Correct.
approaching what's not healthy, but it's also important to understand the scope of that. So let's say if you had somebody, though I'm against it, who's on performance enhancing drugs, who's in that world, from a coaching point of view, it's about making sure that they're doing it as smartly and carefully as they can,
Yeah.
and making sure they're aware of the side effects of it. They're gonna get weak when they come off,
Yeah.
and particularly with males, it's gonna have severe psychological effect.
Yeah.
Because so much of powerlifters' identity, as much as they don't want to admit it, is how much they can lift. So if they're squatting 400 kilograms or 350, now they can't squat 200.
Well, I think that you just hit the nail. In terms of that, when people come off it, it's I'll make them aware of the fact that they're going to be weak. Everyone always probably thinks, oh yeah, but I'm the exception. It won't happen to me as badly, or I'll do it.
It happens to everybody
Yeah.
who does it.
Yeah.
And then they get injured, and there's a whole conundrum of stuff that happens in that world.
Yeah.
But I guess if you look at our world, the
Yeah.
drug tested world,
Yeah.
you look at performance, what isn't healthy. I think
Yeah.
the big thing is the weight cuts we all talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
How do we handle weight cuts,
Yeah.
etc., and how do we handle peaking? I think we've talked about it. I can draw on personal experiences. One of my favorite peaks was for a comp during my PhD, and I had to travel a lot.
Yeah.
And I had my training schedule like we would adapt it a little bit. But I remember sometimes I would have to come back
Yeah.
and train. So we getting up and playing, coming back and hitting an RPE 8 single.
Yeah.
People were like, that's so irresponsible. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to be on the top up, you want to be a podium contention in nationals.
Yeah.
The reason why certain people are a podium contention and certain people aren't is you do what's harder. You know, you might have to take a paracetamol because you're in a little bit of pain. It's not something you necessarily you recommend
Yeah.
to your athletes, but if you're from a coach's point of view and you're sitting there and somebody's like, I want you to be the very, very best, you know, you can't stop training because you have a little bit of a sore wrist. As long as you're working with a physio and you're making sure there's no long-term damage, you're pushing to a point that most people won't push. Like, that's what separates the great from the average.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing for, that's...
I think it's also like
It's not healthy.
the risk reward ratio as well is more skewed when you are pushing performance, but you go in fully acknowledging that.
Exactly. Like,
And you go in fully aware because these are your goals and that's what you are striving to achieve.
I think that's the importance of, you know, you're working with that. It's not just sort of you being stubborn or whatever. Like, you know, you're working with your
Exactly.
coach. You've got that communication. You're understanding, you know, what's happening. There's collaboration with other, you know, allied health professionals.
Exactly.
You've got a good physio. They understand sort of what
Exactly.
you're doing. You know, you're looking at it from a load management perspective.
Yeah.
And in some cases, I think, you know, the recent post we put up about the, you know, perceived fatigue for overreaching, and it's
which
like,
is also really important.
yeah, like there's going to be sections where it's like, no, I'm a little bit beaten up, but it's important that we push in this time. And you probably wouldn't do that for someone who's, you know, the example like a surgeon who's training for general strength. It's not like you wouldn't put them through a big overreaching.
And it's not suited for everybody who wants to compete in powerlifting. So you might actually have somebody who wants to compete in powerlifting.
Yeah.
And I have athletes like that, and I've seen that. And, you know, they're like, I don't want to train today. I'm tired from uni, or I'm tired from work, or I don't know, my stomach hurts, my nutrition isn't good, whatever the reason might be. And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But the reality is with that, even if they are naturally very gifted, they're probably never going to get to the top of the spectrum. Like, I think as a coach, if you want to work with people of that population, you have to understand that you're never going to tell them to do something that is putting them in a position that they're pushing. But you're going to enable them to do it in a safe manner, because there's not one person who's made it to the top of any sport who's done it easily.
Injury free and pain free. It's like,
not having to sacrifice anything.
To be the best or to be in the top, forgive my French, it's shit. It's horrible. It's unpleasant. Yeah. But that's part of the journey, and the people you meet and the people you
Why do you
with.
do it?
Why do you do it?
Sometimes I question myself that.
Why do we do it? Mark, you're a coach. Why do we do it?
Oh, I've got the answer. Yeah, I'm just sitting here.
What's the answer? Why are we all crazy?
There are times where we sit there and go, why do we do what we do? Like, what is it?
Because there's no greater feeling than standing up with a squat. And
If you can stand up with a squat,
and getting weight lights. There's no worse feeling than getting red lights.
Yeah. It's funny because I was talking to one of our members as well, and she was, you know, wishing me luck for my upcoming comp.
That's right.
And
Leanne is competing tomorrow.
She was saying, you know, have fun, and I was like, I'm gonna have fun after. That what I am looking forward to the most is after.
It's funny. Like Naomi.
And so, but why is that?
Yeah, Naomi said the same thing to me after Apex. It was one of the most honest things. I think it was actually between attempts or something, and she just looked at me and she said, you know, this is the part that I hate, that I dread. Like, as in, I don't like it's the competition. This, you know, she doesn't like that feeling.
Why?
But it was like, she likes the lifestyle, and it's almost like this is the necessary evil to achieve
Yeah,
that feeling that she wants. But in that moment, when, you know, I mean, she had a very good comp, but in that moment, it's like, you know, if you've missed a lift and if it's like things aren't going to plan, like, it's not a nice feeling.
That's when there's no greater moment than the coach. Like, I think that's part of the job of the coach. You know, if you coach somebody long enough, you're going to have lots of moments of, like, low. I think it's something we talked about. I don't think we actually finished the post on it. We need to.
We do.
Finish.
We've got a lot of posts in draft
you
form
should-
at
you
the
should-
moment.
if somebody hacks our file, it's
It's
a bit daunting.
Google Docs is pretty secure.
But actually, you like, when you were talking about, you know, that's the role of the coach. Like, okay, so there was this one time, and this is where, like, if I were to look at Mark, right, and just like him as a coach.
Oh, this is your squats and your bench, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like all three of you.
Because
yeah.
you said it today as well. Like, if I could have rewound time and think about it back then. But so, Aislinn and we were sort of testing ourselves at the end of the block, and both of us, so we're just meant to hit like heavy singles just to see sort of where is our strength at.
Is that the one that Aislinn got her way over Mark?
No, that's another.
That's a different one.
Well, this is the beauty. This is the beauty of having a coach that coaches face to face all of our sessions, and we all train together. And so you can imagine what it's like when all of us, and we're all being female. we love it, obviously. But this one time, we were at end of block and we were testing sort of where our strength was, and so. It was like a little, like, I wouldn't say mock meet, like a mock comp, but it sort of like was.
No, yeah, you had.
We
it was a
had
couple
sort of like
blocks.
an unofficial like first attempts, second attempts, third attempts, and we're just doing it for SBD. It's a full SBD day, and Aislinn goes and she squats first, and she fails her unofficial third attempt, and I've gone. Fuck,
I loaded 202.5 because she was scared of 200.
Yeah, so just bypassed it, right?
So we went, well,
And then
202.5.
I've gone and, I've had to hit, and then I also failed my third squat. So Aislinn and I just both down in the dumps, right? We're both looking at each other, and I was furious because she'd failed, I was really angry, and upset that she'd failed, and then I'd failed, and so I was like we were like,
Nobody failed. You
literally-
were unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful. There you go, unsuccessful.
Thank you.
And so we were literally seeping off each other's emotions, right? So then she goes to bench, and same thing. Then she fails her third one. And unsuccessful. Sorry.
I'm looking at both of it, and I'm like, I should have just got you all in, and like now I'm like, I should have just spoken to you all before you bench. But it was like, okay, let the squats, and then we're on to bench, warm up, blah blah blah.
Anyway, then I was frustrated that she
And then
was
they both failed their top bench. Yeah.
unsuccessful.
Sorry, unsuccessfully attempted.
Anyway, so then
So what was it? No, it was good, but what did you say the other day? It was good, but it was unsuccessful. I forget. Were we having that conversation?
We
or?
did.
You forgot it. It was
It was good. But
It was
a
good.
one, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it was very positive, but it was just I forget. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so then it was really funny because Mark just goes, right, guy, like, or both, like, literally come here right now. Like, literally
Just get
brought
everyone.
us in.
No, Naomi came over as well.
Naomi, so there was three of us there. And
She was training well.
And he's just, literally in the middle of the gym floor. He's just not a stern talking to. It was more like a pep talk.
What's
It
that,
was literally a
what's
pep
that Russell
talk.
Peters thing? Somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
It actually wasn't. And when
No, it
you do
wasn't.
listen, like, Mark, you actually do really good pep talks, but it's very targeted for that person, right? And but you're very good at bringing everyone together.
She's only saying that because they deadlifted, and they deadlifted well. You hit the 210 and Ace had hit the 215.
After that, literally, afterwards, he was like, okay, right, this is the plan. And he was like, and afterwards, we sort of, Ace and I were like, okay, yep, right, let's do this.
But I think that just highlights that's the mental approach to lifting, and like that can really, because I mean, if we look at it in that context, like a deadlift is a really good indicator of overall raw strength. Like
And mental strength.
you can't, so as in you can't fake a deadlift. Like squats, you can't fake a squat or a bench either. But
If you can, could you please show me?
I'm saying you can utilize the stretch reflex or what, but in terms of like raw strength, no stretch reflex, nothing, just like in terms of tapering, how they're actually feeling. Like if you're squatted first and they're a little bit off, and your bench is a little bit off, but you're deadlifting well at the end of that, it's like, okay, well, raw strength is probably there. I'm just maybe approaching those other two lifts a different way. Squat's more about balance. Your center of mass is higher. Bench press is very technical. And if you haven't, the strength might be 100% there, but it's like if you've just you've come down like a half centimeter too low or too high than what you're used to at those top end weights. Like sometimes it can, for some people, it's like it can just pin you.
I was having that conversation actually with one of my lifters who's competing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're talking about squat depth. You know how some coaches, they go, okay, you're not hitting depth in training.
Yeah.
So we're never going to progress up. And often I find squat depth isn't always just people can't hit it because of mobility. Sometimes there's a psychological component.
Yeah.
And sometimes you actually have to progress the weight as a coach, knowing that they're squatting high.
Yeah.
Trying to get that depth on the secondary days.
Because you put more weight on and it helps push them down.
Yeah. That's
Just science,
that's how
basically.
it works. Yeah.
It's gravity.
No, 100. I get what you're
But
saying.
like, what I always say to them is, okay, the reason why we call it a sticking point is because you're in the stick. So when you hit depth on the platform and you come up and you hit that point, don't drop. Prepare to fight. Prepare
Yeah.
to throw up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like lose yourself on the platform. But if once you get past that point, you'll fly up.
Yeah.
So I think it's about also from a coaching point of view, and when you're looking at squats, depth is a huge thing, and there's a sticking point which you get with depth. Training athletes when they're not hitting depth in training, having that talk with them and trying to find ways to get them, because often it is a psychological thing that you're not hitting depth. It's not just mobility.
It's
and it can get to you and cause like a lot of anxiety.
It is, because it'll feel the
trying
same,
to
but
hit depth.
if you're watching the video back, it's like, no, it looks different, but it feels the same, and you don't know what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, and what I always say to people is, okay, squat high in training is what it is. We can't really do anything about it. We're at the platform now. This is what you have to do. You're gonna have to hit depth, and when you hit depth and you're coming up, you expect that point and fight.
Yeah.
And usually when people do that, because what happens when people fall through the hole and bomb, because they've never hit depth before, or they're always sketching depth, is they expect it to move as easy as it does when they're squatting high, because they don't have the sticking point.
Yeah.
And then they don't expect that point, and then they just follow. That's when you see people bail as well, in my opinion.
It's funny depending on the build of the person as well. Like, I think some people, if they're cutting depth as the weight gets higher, it's very psychological, but it's actually putting them in a poorer position because their hips are further away from the bar.
Exactly.
But
if the chance of back injury.
If they just allow themselves to sink in that little bit more, they actually utilize that rebound out of the bottom.
Exactly.
And they're squatting so much better just by utilizing that.
And they minimize their injury risk.
Yeah.
And also deadlift specialists, you see they hinge.
Yeah.
And that drives me crazy, because you see they lean forward to try to utilize the fact they have a strong back, particularly strong conventional deadlifters.
Yeah.
But the more you go back, you think, oh, I'm getting really deep, because you're getting closer to the ground.
Yeah.
But you're just actually going to fall in your face as you fail.
Yeah.
And you get a red light.
Yeah.
Being high.
Yeah.
I've seen other those who squat as well in that regard try and push their chest out and sort of have more of an arched squat as they go
Like
down.
really arch lower back.
Yeah,
and usually they just overcorrect.
Yeah, and when you're in that position as well, you find it harder to also hit depth because
And
you're
also
putting your
your
hip in the
Your lower back.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, oh, but I'm staying
That-
up, I'm
like
squatting upright,
extension.
but my lower back's copping a beating.
The
Yeah.
only person I allowed to do that is Donald the Duck.
Donald
Ah,
the Duck.
yes,
Yes.
that's it. Yep.
Yes. I
Otherwise,
remember that post.
No.
Donald the Duck's good.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually, it's a little I know we're going this. Oh, we're still on the performance trend, but using the force plates with Chris.
Those are amazing.
So it's something that I want to start. We actually ran I was lucky enough to go and do a PD down with him with the blokes from Veld, and sort of asked them a bunch of questions in terms of, what metrics we're actually tracking, because like force plates are cool, but it's like, how do you integrate them into training? And
Also,
like,
the data that it gives, you need to still make use of the data. Like, what is it that you're actually looking for?
Yeah. So the one thing,
make it meaningful.
the one thing I was looking at the impulse. So the 100 milliseconds as you rebound. So the thing you're tracking on the force plates, it was eccentric, deceleration, impulse, and what that's essentially telling me is how much force you're generating in that 100 milliseconds as you rebound. So as you hit as you start to slow down, because everyone sort of squats as you change directions, as you start to slow down and rebound out of the hole, how much force are you producing in that moment? And then also, what are your asymmetries in that particular time? And what I was comparing it against was the speed at which you were going into the hole. So the interesting thing was, like, I mean, everyone's got a different tempo when they come in to descend in the squat.
Definitely.
Some people squat fast, some people squat slow, but it's generally like it's squat as fast as you can control. But the funny thing was, I was looking at like Naomi and some of like Leanne's things, and one thing I was noticing when we were testing is like, okay, the impulse is much higher, but they're slower into the hole. Now they're not slow, like super slow squatters, but the one thing that I was looking at is, well, maybe sort of as they're dive bombing in, or not dive bombing, because they don't dive bomb, but if someone is to squat faster because they believe that they're going to get more stretch reflex out of the bottom, what might actually be happening? Yes, they'll squat fast between the top and almost the bottom, but they'll actually put on the brakes a lot earlier than what they think. So they're squatting really fast. It looks like they're dive bombing, but in the point that actually matters, they're slowing down so much, and then, that's where you're not feeling the pop out of the hole or whatever. Whereas like having and it was still a fairly smooth squat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just one squat. It was
We were doing like
over
reps of
time.
like 6 or
The
something as
impulse
well,
coming
in
out of the
many
bottom
sets.
was like so much more. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was statistically like significant. And I'm like, okay, Now you can see that as a coach. You don't need a force plate to show you that either. But having that objective data and then saying to the athlete, hey, we want to be sort of smoother coming in here, like it gives them that
It's feedback as well.
It gives them that
we can
feedback
take.
using that as well. So it's not just, oh yeah, I'm using fancy force plates or whatever. It's here's some feedback, here's some objective data. Go away and practice.
Let's work on not dive bombing it more, but having a bit more focus on.
Well, not necessarily. I don't think I coach anyone to dive bomb. Like the fastest squatter is probably Cindy. I think in terms of her descent speed, but it can be hit and miss as well.
I think the faster you squat, the more hit and miss it's going to be.
Correct. Yeah.
But
And it's I if we look at a general trend, if we have like 1,000 people, those that squat faster, like they're probably not going to be as consistent. Yes, they might have one that's like, oh, that's so good, but it's like 1 in every 10 squats is good versus like.
And that's not what we want going into competition. It's so hard.
You want consistency.
We want consistency and reliability.
Consistency is key.
But that's what stood out to me just using, looking at that, and I'm like, okay, well, that's in terms of that would be really good data for a powerlifter to take away objectively. So they go and practice that, because powerlifters only care about how much they're squatting on platform. They don't care about how much force they're generating in that period of time. It's like, how much weight am I squatting? Like, is it 200 or is it 210? Like that,
or 2 or 2.5.
Yeah, well, whatever. That doesn't matter. Shots fired. Like, you know what I mean? Like
100%.
But if we can use those tools and say, like, you want to squat 210, 220.
Yeah.
Like, if you can use those tools to and then be like, okay, well, this gives me objective data. I practice that. I come away. Okay, I'm squatting much more weight now, and then I'm using this strategy to descend, and it's showing me objectively that it's good.
I think Scott's still like traumatized from last time I did my testing.
Yeah.
The first time I did my testing with Scott, he also tested my Bulgarian split squat.
Yep.
An isometric Bulgarian.
Yeah.
So underneath the bar, pushing against it.
Yeah.
And I fell over.
As in fell like.
How?
I fell into somebody. Because what they did was he attached the bar pretty much. Scott's probably getting like PTSD from this. He attached the J hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the squat bar underneath.
Yes.
It made me go into an isometric Bulgarian, pushing up against the J hook.
So that was on plates, or was
On
that on
plates.
Yep.
They measure my force.
Yep.
Yeah.
But as I was doing it, I lost my balance. I don't know how
How? That's what I'm like, how?
It's a Bulgarian.
Oh yeah, I know, but you're pushing up against it. Oh, fair.
But I lost my balance. And
right.
I fell forward, and I fell directly into somebody else, like on top of them.
Oh my god.
Top of this guy standing in front of me, like trying to spot me, and I fell.
But did you still get to measure your force?
We did.
Excellent.
We did. We found that my left side, like when we did my squats, we measured my squats. This was actually in the lead up to Commonwealth. And we actually found my left side was producing, I think it was 30% less force. Mm-hmm. So I was driving all to my right side.
Yeah.
And like people who watch my squat, like even now,
Same as her.
twin.
15.
Oh my
15
goodness.
There's about a 15% discrepancy.
Yeah, I'm
but she
lopsided. So when you watch me squat, it just goes like, doot. And everybody's like, you're...
Actually, do you know what? Could we also measure Dan?
Oh yeah, because if he straightens up, it's like it's weird for him.
His bar.
Yeah.
You know how some people, Dan, when he puts the bar on his back, it's wonky. It's like on the side, but for him it just feels right. So that's how he just squats.
It was actually really funny. I remember there's a lot of people who would comment on my squats, and it'd be really nice to be like, "You're so lopsided. Your bar's not even on your back." It wasn't my lack of stability. It was just my push. I would come up like with one leg like before the other one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. Whenever I do it properly.
Yeah.
I get glute pain.
Yeah. So
That's
like,
good.
so therefore, like this is where it's like, and
It's really interesting.
and it's really funny actually because like, when I'm like coaching, like the beginner strength class and it's just gen pop, right? Mm-hmm. The whole emphasis there is like teaching the right technique, right? But then
What is the right technique?
Well, that's it. What is
Yeah,
the right
that's
technique? The
the-
right technique for you, like your dimensions. Like I keep saying, like it's actually all individual. It's all based on your individual. Like you have different limb lengths, you've got different strengths. Like you're, so.
But what about also like anxiety? Like if you look at it, like I think every lifter has a bit of anxiety when it comes to like their fears of.
So what you're saying is, if someone's really anxious about squatting, you should do a couple of real dive bomb squats with some semi-heavy weight just to get over their anxiety.
Right.
It's good strategy.
That's Mark's idea.
What?
No.
But in terms of like positioning, like I struggled. When I started squatting, I hated looking the refs in the eye. So I look down when I squat.
Yeah.
So I know that's bad technique, but it works really, really well for me.
Well, that's the same. Is it bad technique though? And it's really
yeah, I wouldn't really call it. Yeah, I wouldn't call it bad
like,
technique, but
if
it's like it works for you.
Yeah, like,
then it's like
But it might work horribly. It might work horribly for you. It's like it depends on the person.
yeah. And it's really funny because like you know, because we train all together, like our gym, we've got, you know, elite level powerlifters who then also train alongside, you know, Gen Pop or those who are just starting into strength, and they look around, they look at, you know, sort of the powerlifters who are lifting, and they go, is that healthy for them? Is that, you know, like are they doing the right technique?
Is it too much?
I always get that with my Gen Pop. They're like, oh my God, that person's gonna break their back. And most of my clients have never seen me bench press, and they're like, don't watch me bench press if you think that's true.
Yeah, the arch, right?
Yeah, but actually, the arch is the safest position. In terms
That's
of,
it.
If you think about the shoulder, they're a ball and socket joint, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's actually better if it's locked in.
Puts the
than
shoulder in the
arch.
safest position.
And it's also better for your back if you can learn. Because this is something that drives me crazy. Like, it drives me mad.
Please tell us.
When people are benching,
Yeah.
they spend 20 bloody minutes before they bench lying over a roller with their freaking phone scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. It's like, and they're leaning over because obviously if you try to open up through your thoracic, it's gonna effing hurt.
Yeah.
But they do it through their lower back, through their lumbar.
Yep.
So they're not
Yeah,
accomplishing.
not doing the right
They're not
thing.
accomplishing what they're
They're
trying
not
to
And
doing
then they
the right
arch
place.
into their lumbar and they don't hold their shoulder position and their lats come up and they go do a bunch of tricep extensions. And like if you lose your lats, you're not gonna be able to actually lock out and use your freaking triceps. And if you just do that, like you're not accomplishing anything other than hogging the foam roller and hogging the bench.
Maybe they're like scrolling for a little bit there, you know. Oh, the foam roller on the bench.
Yes, and they're like
With their phone.
You're opening up. I'm like, please stop it. And then they go, oh my God, my lumbar back. My lumbar
My lower back's really sore. It's like
is really sore. Must be my deadlift volume. I'm like,
100%.
I love it because I also use the foam roller right
Sorry.
before, but no.
For 20
No,
minutes,
no.
it's 100% what she does.
please don't do it today because I'll literally take it away from you.
I'm not training today, so thank goodness, because I'm competing tomorrow. No. But I actually do use the foam roller.
I do as
though.
well.
Yeah, I know. This is why to clarify, which
You
but I
will
think
do
it's,
it.
it's
I do
so
as well.
it's so funny though. Yeah. But like that's because like, you know, with my like back injury as well, like
yeah.
for me to get into extension,
It's really hard.
It is really hard.
It's also about like you knowing how to do it through your thoracic.
Your thoracic, yeah.
If you can do it through your thoracic, that's what's going to actually hold your shoulders into place.
Yes.
And keep the ball and socket actually in place. Because if you keep your lats in place, then you can use your triceps. Otherwise,
Yeah.
don't bother with all the tricep extensions unless you actually enjoy doing weighted dips. Like, don't bother. Because if you can't keep your lats up, you're not going to be able to actually do the tricep extension. You'll be like this and nobody can bench. Or you're just going to do your shoulder. You're going to do an AC.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
It's like the fundamentals.
Yeah, but it's more like, okay, like making sure that if you are using the foam roller, you are knowing what the reason is for, and you're doing it purposely.
I feel like this should be a post.
That's what I was thinking as well.
And not doing it just because, you've seen Joe Blow over there doing it, that's how you do it, and then just pick it up and just try and
Or you
copy
look at
and
it,
doing
and,
it
like
wrong.
someone might be doing it, like someone might be like putting it in the thoracic, but you've just grabbed it. No, pop it here because it's like.
Most lifters, no offense, lifters,
She says that, but she means offense.
don't understand the difference between thoracic and lumbar.
Yeah, your
Especially the
lumbar's
starting.
up here, yeah, and then your
Most
thoracic.
people don't
yeah,
understand
sure.
that. And you know what? You're paying somebody to understand that. So when you're paying your coach, they should know what that is. And,
Yeah,
and they're putting in the wrong spot, and people just don't realize.
yeah.
I think one of my favorite lines was actually a line off Thomas Lilly when he was talking about stretching, and he's talking about like stretching is supposed to suck. Like when you're doing your primary
Yeah, it's
work,
not meant to be relaxing.
It's not relaxing. Like it
It's
should
not
be
relaxing.
like you should want it to end. You shouldn't be able to be on your phone scrolling. You should be counting on the seconds that this torture is over.
Yeah,
Because then
yeah.
you're primed and ready. It's like
Yeah.
one of my favorite cues for bench.
It takes a lot to stretch muscles.
Yeah.
Like muscles are very
Oh, yeah.
dense.
One of my favorite cues actually for bench press, I used to use on one of my sub juniors who's 14. It worked really well for her, but I think people wanted to call child services. Was strangle yourself.
To what?
No, strangle. I remember we had
Yeah.
a chat about this. You said, "Oh, strangle yourself." Yeah,
Because like
Oh,
bench
yeah.
press.
yeah.
'Cause
It was
if
like
you-
that double chin, like
Well,
yeah.
not even just that. Like if you actually drive it, your shirt's gonna come off.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
feel like strangling you. And
Yeah.
That's when you know
You were
you're
just
tight.
talking.
Actually, I said that to Wayhan because that's what he was doing. He was feeling a little bit lightheaded on the bench, and I was like, "Yes, this is what's happening." 'Cause
You're
he was
strangling
literally
yourself.
strangling himself. So for him, it was like
It's only for one rep, so strangle yourself away.
No, he wasn't.
he wasn't
just
doing
the
one rep, so I was like, "Ah, sorry, Wayhan."
10 reps. Please, was he doing run?
What? I wasn't 10 reps. That's brutal. It was at least 15. No, I was joking.
Please explain to me.
It was
your logic.
six, I think. I think it was set of 6.
I was barely volume.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you
That's
go.
it. Yeah.
See? Yeah.
Thank you. We're in agreement. This is good.
I do that anyway. Like,
That's-
even sets of 6 for bench, I will
like
hold my
meat and
breath
potatoes.
for the whole
If it was like
time.
running, I would call that mid distance. Like this 100-meter spray.
Yes.
It's like a 200. It's still anaerobic. It's,
Still more.
middle distance. It's like 1500. Like that's a distance.
Is it middle distance?
Yeah. I call middle distance like, oh, you're talking running. I'm talking swimming. Middle distance is like 400 for me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I used to die at the discus cage.
Okay. Fine.
200, I could do 100. Yeah.
So if you're programmed by either of us, you're getting volume. And volume will get results.
Well, yeah. I think time and time again, if you were to look at,
Yeah.
know, like, you just...
It's
From the
such a-
data that you've collected from all of your, athletes.
It's such a hard thing. I think it's like that. We spoke about that before. Like, I think minimal effective dosages
Yeah.
become very popular, and there are times when pulling back is the right thing to do. But if you look at it over the long trend, I keep saying this, like look at a 10 or a 15-year like athletic career or whatnot. No, I'm in front of it. If you look at let's say 10-year power or even a 5-year powerlifting career, look at the difference between someone starting out versus someone,
Yeah.
and look at the volume they're hitting. It's going to be more.
100%. I think it's also important to understand that a lot of the work is built in the volume, but also not all volume looks the same.
Yes.
So like you might have an athlete, and she leads us on to another topic we're going to be going into, another podcast.
I've got a health versus performance one for Leanne, but we've spoken about that before.
Is template programming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So obviously sometimes if you're on a lower budget, you might be buying a template program,
Mm-hmm.
and that should be very cheap.
Yeah.
It doesn't take very much time to write a template program.
Yeah.
But when you're actually doing a proper program, let's say if you're doing a program that works, all coaches have bias, maybe what works for them or what works for their star lifter.
Mm-hmm.
But just because, let's say hypothetically, I'll just use myself as a lifter as an example, I respond really well with sets of 3 to 4 sets of 10 on Mondays. Doesn't mean all my masters lifters are going to do that.
No.
Like you have to look at the lifters.
It's all right, Lisa. I'm not giving you 3 sets of 10 for bench.
I told
She's
him
like,
to.
nothing more than 6.
I told him to.
I have gone 8s before for her, and she chastised
looked
me
at
when she
you
started.
with disgust.
Like
Disgust.
sometimes I think you might have a master or anybody
Mm.
who only needs like 1 set of bench, like 2.
Yeah.
I think probably 2. You mean like 2? I said sets. I meant 2 sessions of bench press. You might not need a lot of volume, or maybe it only needs 1 squat exposure. You need to look at their hips. You need to look at what they need to stabilize.
Yeah.
And it's not everybody's going to look the same.
Yeah.
All programs by a certain coach will have a bias because we all have a bias.
Yep. Yep.
But they should all look different. And the longer you're with your coach,
Yep.
the stronger your relationship gets with your coach, the more different it should look. Like a coach that's been working with an athlete for 5-10 years,
Yeah.
their program should look very different than somebody who start. Because we all start on a template because we're all efficient, right? Well, most of us should be efficient.
Yeah, well, that's what I keep. Yeah, as in, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, I mean, we say, and I do as well. It's like, yeah, it is individual programming when someone starts. But, like, if someone starts and you've got even if you've got data on them, you're still going to start on, it's still a template approach. If you're lucky enough to have data, it's like, okay, well, they can handle this amount, but I'm going to start them on this template, and we're going to stick to this amount of work because this is the amount of work they've tolerated before. So we're going to look at this sort of template and see how that goes and just try and minimize noise as much as we can, and then add things in over time, whether that's volume, whether that's different lifts. It just depends. Like
It's actually really interesting because if you look at, say, there's 4 of us, so Aislinn, Cindy, Naomi, and me, and we look at sort of when sort of we all first started, not myself, but more like Cindy and Aislinn and Naomi when they first started, we look at the programs. All of their programs did look quite similar to each other.
Yeah.
If you look at their programs now, we're all so different.
Yeah, because
We're all so different now. And we have mentioned that because we train together. So we know sort of each other's programs.
yeah, I just put it into ChatGPT. Easy. Come on.
And it was
Actually, I asked ChatGPT to write a program recently just for giggles.
oh yeah, and
It was a horrific program. It was scary. Like I'm gonna fire ChatGPT.
You're fired.
Like it was foul. I said I like volume. It gave me 12 sets of 10.
12 sets of 10.
That's all right. It's
Oh
like-
my
And I'm like,
goodness.
I actually
I thought you said you like 10s on Monday.
I put that into my.
You told ChatGPT.
Oh, you said
that.
I like
I
10s on
talked
Monday.
back to ChatGPT. I'm like, that's brutal. Like that would take me 5 hours. And if
And
you
what
would
is-
have told me, stop eating donuts between sets.
What?
I'm like, that's me. And it said to me,
Someone hacked your ChatGPT.
and it said to me, powerlifters eat donuts and take too long breaks. If you actually reduce your breaks, you'll get a better workout. And also, you won't have to go to the bathroom if you stop drinking as much caffeine. And
Wow.
it'll improve your pelvic floor control. And there's
Jeez.
no need for all your long posts on it.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I was like, that's really mean.
If you had ChatGPT as your coach.
I think I would cry.
That's brutal.
Wow.
It doesn't have empathy. That's why coaches will never be replaced.
Maybe you should create a ChatGPT profile with empathy. So you create like a model of it with
Yeah.
the type of coach
yeah.
that you resonate with. There you go.
That actually kind of brings me on to the next question that I actually had.
You just put us out of a job, Mark.
Oh, sorry.
literally.
Isn't that what everyone's doing? I mean, what?
No, but that actually like sort of brings me to the next one because when it comes to sort of health versus performance, as a coach, your communication style
Oh, yeah.
has to change, right? The way that you communicate to someone who is just training for health versus how you would communicate to someone who is striving for performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Hannah is playing with Freya, who
Or
is
Freya. It's funny
Freya
with me.
is Freya is playing with Hannah right now under the table.
She wants attention.
So she's conveniently getting distracted. Freya is our gym
I
dog.
think
He's
Freya
our
should make
puppy.
I think Freya should make an appearance.
We'll bring Freya up here.
Yeah.
Hey Freya.
Oh.
There we go. For those watching the video of this, you'll see Freya here. She's a big fluff monster, but she's a Samoyed and she comes to the gym every day. She's probably one of the hardest working member of our gym, to be honest.
How much can you squat, Freya?
Oh, she squats a lot. Yeah. She's very good at watching people
And how
squat.
much volume do you squat a week?
She's very good
12
at...
sets of 10
You're my kind
on
of dog.
Mondays.
Have you not seen the pictures of her literally lying on the ground?
And
Which
how
is
much you-
obviously
And
tired.
can you bench two times your body weight?
Absolutely.
Yeah, look at her short legs.
Absolutely.
True.
She's
Range.
built to
Oh, but
bend.
can you,
Deadlift's terrible.
can she hit bench depth?
Oh,
Always.
whoa, that's another topic.
Don't tell her that. Shh. Cover her ears. There we go. Okay, I'm going to let her down now.
I'll let her out. That way she's not trapped.
There we go.
She's like,
Slight digression.
she's like, I
Just-
still want.
I know. You can see her now on the side. She's popped up.
Oh God,
Freya.
Freya,
Hop down.
you'll get attention again soon.
That's it. Good girl. No, so I was just saying about just the communication styles, and just sort of like how you do have to communicate differently and treat, people differently depending on whether they are training
Yeah,
for health
Yeah,
or
100%.
training for performance.
100%.
Yeah.
And also the strategies you'll use to get a PB. Let's say, I think women's training is actually really important when it comes to training for health, to training for performance. So a lot of people talk about, how to handle cycle and training. When you're looking at the cycle and training, if you're training a powerlifter, they need to be able to train through the worst day of their cycle.
Yeah, you can't stop training
'Cause it could
just
be your
because you're feeling, crap
Because you're supposed to be.
yeah.
You need to learn how to train through it. And so if
and also compete.
Yeah, and you
through
can't
it
just
too.
deload every 2 weeks, 2 weeks
yeah,
on,
you
2
can't
weeks
just
off,
show
or
up to nationals and be like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to change the date. I'm my period. Sorry. Like,
Imagine if we did that every single time.
actually, it'd be really funny. I would love to see what the medical committee would say. Something that she steps.
Put in a little exemption. Sorry, I've got my period.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like, you have to be able to train through that.
Yes,
But if you have
absolutely.
a gen pop and they have a bad cramp, and they don't feel well, it might actually make sense just to
Take it easy.
Exactly.
You know what? Yeah.
Change what you're doing.
Yeah.
And there's a time and there's a place to push. And I think if you had gen pop, it would be kind of cruel to make them train through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the benefit of it?
Yeah, exactly.
And I
if you
think
have
it's,
an
but
athlete,
I think it's
cruel not to push them through it.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
important also for, coaches to understand that distinction and be aware of it, because I know that there are some coaches out there who still place that expectation that you would place on a performance athlete on Gen Pop. But you can't expect that level of accountability. You can't expect that level of dedication in that sense and commitment from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's not even commitment as well. I think it's just, it's not even commitment. It's also just the fact that why put yourself through such misery?
Yeah.
Because for females to train when they have cramps with painkillers, it's hell. Why would you actually make somebody do that?
Yeah.
And the only reason why female lifters would do that is because they know that they might have to do a comp.
Yeah. I don't think it's just lifters though. Like, we're talking about female athletes.
Or athletes in general. Like, if
Mm.
you weren't a competitive athlete, you wouldn't do it. It's just like if you were somebody in a weight cutting sport, you wouldn't drink 8 liters of water by choice.
Mm.
But you can do it if you're working towards a goal.
There's actually been a lot more conversations now. I think because of social media, but also because now, like just in the world of sport, there's a lot more highlight or emphasis on women's sport,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
It's amazing.
Right? And I don't know about you, but like I follow accounts like the female athletes.
I love that count, yeah.
And just a lot of those accounts that really highlight on women's individual sports and also team sports. But because of that, there's also then a lot more conversations around, what women have to go through as an elite level athlete when it comes to around their period. And I think, what's her name? Kate Campbell. So she recently brought up, I guess, the issues that she has had for a long time with, her period. And I think endometriosis.
That's becoming a huge thing as there's more awareness towards that.
Yeah, and I remember reading an article where she wrote about, I guess, the issues that she went through when it came to how to manage her period around her training and her competition. And when you are becoming elite level, and besides the point of like, especially if you are in elite level or a weight class, weight specific sport like powerlifting is, that also has the additional pressure of you may need to cut into
But how that
a
affects
weight class and how that affects your body hormonally.
Yeah.
Girls lose their periods.
or they come early or they come late.
Exactly. And so all of that impact. But I remember she was talking about how even doctors, even sports doctors and all that, because, the world of like women's sport is really still in its beginning, like it's not as big as men's sport. So the understanding that they have of female athletes, even in the medical field, is not there. So, then sharing, I guess, personal stories of what people go through for them when it comes to training and competing on their period is still, very much is becoming more topical, which I think is really, really
It's
good.
really important, particularly with issue with male coaches. Like sometimes
I'm getting burned here.
I've actually heard really positive things about you on this topic. So,
Oh, thank you.
Like a lot of male coaches, you couldn't mention that they would probably close their ears.
Yeah.
Like, I've been around gyms where we put like pads in the bathroom. Guys go, "Oh my god, it's disgusting." I was traumatized.
We've got pads.
We've
in
got
our
pads in the
bar.
bathroom.
But no, but that's like the issue. So some male coaches, they can't handle those
Yeah.
conversations. And if they can't handle those conversations,
I carry spares when I handle.
He does.
Well, what happens if there's none? It's like, hair ties, spare pads. Like, you might need one. It's
Yeah.
you're a real coach of female athletes.
Yeah.
But like
And
most,
tampons. He has like
most male
tampons.
coaches aren't like
He's
that.
even carried my cup.
You see, most male coaches aren't like like most male coaches aren't like that. So the concept, like, they have to incorporate that in.
Yeah.
It's competition. Like, I honestly think all spreadsheets should have cycle. because it's something to keep into consideration, even if it's not like how it's going to affect your performance on training days. If you're actually tracking for a comp, it's really important because it's important for a coach to know, hey, I know, let's say you're, I don't know, a 63 lifter. You're sitting 64.5, but you're coming into your cycle. That's not a water cut away because you're going to put on a kg.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is a conversation that we have. And I know, like, and I don't want to, obviously, if people don't want to share their personal, you know, not information, but like, I would say you are aware of, you know, some of your athletes, you know, cycles and how during the different stages, how it impacts on their training and their performance element.
But it's just that communication as well. Like sometimes if they're even a little bit irregular and whatnot, it's like, you know, they might come in and it's like, oh, I'm, you know, it's like a standing joke. It's like, I'm on my strong week this week. And it's like, but even that little, even communication like that is like, you know, is good. But then sometimes as well, it's like, objectively looking at things when they're supposed to be, you know, inverted commas, weaker or whatnot, they're actually not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just that they might be going through a little bit more discomfort, but then you might say, hey, look, look at what you hit during, you know, your inverted commas. You thought you were going to be stronger this week, and look at what you hit in the week that, you know, and look at how it moved. Even though you're feeling like, you know, a little bit off, it's like everything's moving well.
Yeah, but I think like with powerlifting as a sport, you should be able to share that information because it's not that personal of a detail.
No, it isn't.
With your coach.
That's what I say. It's funny because like I will also in the gym say, I've got my period today. And like I do think there'll be people in the gym, I don't care if they know. Yeah. It's like because it's life. Like it's part of what happens to half of the population.
Even if you don't want to share it, like you should feel comfortable enough sharing that with your coach.
Yes.
And I think having like on your spreadsheet or something, having boxes from a coach's point of view on a spreadsheet, just to say cycle timing or something, it opens it up. It doesn't have to be like a big conversation if it's an uncomfortable conversation based on culture, but just having that data, it'll make that to go, oh, I can put that there. And from a coaching point of view, just going, oh, I've just noticed you might fluctuate in weight just because of hormonal things based on this data. Just be aware of that with your weight. It doesn't have to be an in detail conversation. It's just keeping that open.
Oh, am I off the screen? There we go. And I'm falling off. Well, yeah, especially if you you are cutting weight into a comp, and it's like, you know, your one was nationals. It was like we knew you were going to 2022. We knew it was like the day before, and you were going to most likely increase either the day before or the day of. And we just sort of planned for that.
Yeah, it's really important.
I ended up increasing the day before.
Day before by a kilo, 1.2 kilos.
So I had to then lose a kilo because I was on track.
Yeah.
But
it was like we had that data, so it was like it's not as big of a shock when it happens. It's like
we
is what's going to happen.
came with everything prepared, knowing that if I did gain a kilo, we had a strategy in place to implement.
And I think that's another thing that's really important to understand externally when we're looking. Because like we're all judgmental, right? From a coaching point of view, we all judge other coaches and other athletes, particularly weight cuts, right? Whenever somebody goes in a sauna, we judge them. We judge their coaches. Let's be honest. But we have to actually look at things from a point of view. We don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So we can't say like an athlete had a bad cut when maybe they've had like a change in hormones.
Yeah.
And that's why they had a sauna for 3 minutes. If they made weight, we should actually be talking about, hey, there was a hiccup, and look how damn well that coaching team did to make weight despite that little hiccup. Particularly if it's just like a minor. Yeah. When you go into a weight cut, I was talking to someone about this other day. We were actually talking about this before we started recording. Yeah. We look at like weight cuts, right? We always use like spreadsheets or planned macros, right? With the idea that if you do this, this, and this, and this, it's an exact science, and the person's going to make weight. Yeah. No, they might stress. They might be constipated. Like you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're human.
Yeah. So you have to have a plan A, B, C, D, and E. What I always say with like nutrition coaching, you know, you're not paying for macros, you're paying for comp week. So you're paying a certain amount of money every week for nutrition coaching. And you're probably not getting that much out of it every week. You're probably overpaying, let's be honest. But on comp week, you're underpaying. Yeah. Because on comp week, you're probably going to
need a lot of communication.
Yeah, you're going to need plan B, C, D, E, and F.
It's literally, if you know, it's morning and night and, you know, little
what
conversation.
What are you weighing at night? This is what are you weighing in the morning? What are you eating?
And plan B, if you actually make weight on plan A and plan B, you are lucky. It's not good coaching. You are lucky. You need to have all those other plans. then it also comes from there, like when we talk about things like weight cutting and communication with athletes, is also how do we avoid like disordered eating? Like we're coming off it, we have like different stages. I think in precision nutrition, when you do your, I think it's your level 2, they really talk about the different levels of controlled eating. And before you put something through a weight cut, you have to make sure they have the maturity with food.
Yeah.
So the idea that you can't, because when you're in your last 3 weeks in cut, you have an eating disorder. You're weighing yourself twice a week. You're going, I just peed. I wonder how much I lost. That's disordered eating. But you have to be aware, like the minute you step off the scale and you make weight, less for jokes and giggles, you want to see how much you gain from your 25 donuts or whatever.
25? At least 40.
Oh, sorry. My stomach can't stretch that much. But
We're power lifters. We eat donuts
Sorry.
according to
25, they
ChatGPT.
come in packs of 6. Like, where's the 25? It's like
Sorry,
30.
24.
Oh, it's like 30.
But like, you have to be able to actually
Or 12.
come off and be able to go, okay, and have the education and educate your clients. You know, yep, I had a little bit more carbs today. That's fine, but I got my protein in. But it's not like this obsessive compulsive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm having 6 protein shakes.
It's almost like the ability to track and get to that sort of extreme should aid your intuitive eating down the track. So that's how you eat more intuitively, and you understand food a little bit better.
But you're
On
not
its ideal.
caught up on it and have to be caught up on it 24/7
and
after it's served its purpose.
Yeah, but you also have to know, like, there's no bad food. But you also have to know the effects of food. Like, we might love pizza and eat the damn pizza, but you probably shouldn't be eating 7 meals a day. I mean, 7
Or
meals a day,
for
7 meals a
seven,
day.
yeah, I was going to say
7 meals a day. That's good.
every single day for a
Yeah.
month.
Like, you have to understand food.
Yes.
That's not disordered eating. It's not eat the damn pizza. It's have your pizza and enjoy it, but also know maybe my next meal should be something that's more protein heavy, because it's balance and understanding it and how it's going to make you feel, and energy releases. If you have high sugar, how that sugar is going to make you feel. Understanding the effect on your body and your brain.
It's funny. I actually completely agree with what you're
Yeah.
saying, because, that's exactly
Got a
like.
segue to that, but yes.
Well, that's exactly like for myself, right? For example, like I track and I make note of everything that I'm eating, and I have certain calories like that I know I need to hit every single day. And for me, it's not about trying to lose weight or trying to cut calories. It's about, okay, am I feeding myself enough? Am I actually fueling my body to achieve what I want to achieve? And it's funny because obviously as you get closer to comp, because making weight, and that becomes more of a priority.
Yeah.
I have to be a bit more stringent with it. And so like things like going out, a week ago, I met out with some of my colleagues from work, and we went out for dinner, and I just said, hey, FYI, just a heads up, because I'm like a week out of comp, I will have a set of scales, and no, this is not probably, it wasn't an ideal situation, because obviously when you are tracking and you eat out, it's really hard to track exactly what you're
really
putting
hard.
into your mouth. Like, how do you do it accurately? So I did it knowing full well that it wasn't going to be an accurate measure of tracking food for myself, but at least it gave me some form of measurement to allow me to at least still meet up with my colleagues, still hang out,
and have a social
still
life.
have a social life, but giving myself, I guess, acknowledging like a buffer leeway, and talking to them, and they're like, oh, you're measuring your food. Like, is that healthy? Is that? And I was like, well, I
it's
don't
not.
know. It's not. But I don't measure all the
it's for
time.
a reason.
I'm only doing it right
week.
now. Trust me, I said after comp, I'm not going to be measuring. I'm not hung up on having to
Okay.
measure.
I love doing after comp, after I do a wake up.
What's your
What?
I love weighing myself after I've eaten.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a bad habit. I don't know why it is. I think I stress a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, I stress a lot. Like, I'll lose 5 kg after comp.
Wow.
Like, I think it was nationals in 2024.
Yeah.
And you
I've never weighed myself after comp. After, like, once I've weighed in for
Yeah,
comp,
pancakes
that's
after
it.
after comp's pancakes.
Like, I think Thomas was traumatized because it was like because I was really, really sick and I couldn't take my prescription because it wasn't approved.
yeah.
And I remember I barely made weight. Like, it was a struggle to make weight, but we made weight the first time.
Yeah.
And I weighed in at 69.75. And I ate all the food. I went out for burgers, had some ice cream, I hopped on the scale. 67.5.
What?
Yeah. Woke up the next morning to referee.
That's just like stress.
Woke up the next morning. I made weight for the 63s.
Oh my
I was like,
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like,
How?
how?
Yeah, how?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And have you done that consistently, like other comps as well?
Yeah.
It's happened the same way.
I didn't cut for nationals, but like I'm more, you always, even if you're way under, you're still always like.
So what you're saying is after comp we go out for pizza?
Yeah, that's always strategy. I remember I pretty much weighed myself after comp,
Yeah.
and I lost weight like through the day.
Wow.
So I think we all have different things.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
weighing yourself after.
But also, it also shows you that everyone's body also
Is different.
behaves differently, reacts differently,
So yeah,
responds differently.
If you use my spreadsheet for my body, you should just pick out the night before a comp, and you'll make weight.
That's it. Okay,
Don't-
guys.
don't do that, don't do that.
That template is out there.
No, but that means you've got to stress out and then hit all the numbers you're going to hit in comp. It's like going to your coach saying, "Oh yeah, hey, I've just had a look at the program, the comp day selections. I've tested them all out. We're good for tomorrow."
Imagine if a lifter did. Actually, I had a lifter do that once.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, "What?"
Oh my goodness.
Oh dear.
Wow. Okay, so I'm looking at the time now, and I'm conscious that we have the ability to just keep chatting for hours, which we do every single week.
We do.
When we catch up. But I am conscious of the time. So thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
coming and chatting. I think this is going to be the beginning of many more podcasts.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be this collaboration of MD Strength and iStar.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Very exciting.
Yeah, and we've got many, many more topics that we will definitely be very keen to discuss and not go on tangents.
Of course not.
We will go on tangents. Leanne has no power to stop that.
I
Shame
tried
today.
to rein you guys back, but then I also get swept up with it too.
Yes.
So really, there is no hope.
There's no hope.
There's no
Maybe
hope.
Freya can control. She could just jump on top of us.
Yes. Yeah, we'll just get her to jump up whenever there's a digression of some sort and keep us in track. Yeah. No. Anyway, thank you so much. It's been
you.
really, really awesome. Love chatting with everyone here. And until next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Redefine Strength.
Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all upcoming episodes.
Until next time.